Hello. Hello, mic test. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Can you hear me, everyone? No bangs today. Hi there. Good evening, everybody. Live again from our house. Let's just give it a few minutes before we officially begin. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, mic test. Okay, I think I can start. All right, so good evening, everybody. Good evening from New Zealand. It's 6 p.m. here. And yes, we are back to our live. This is going to be every Sunday where we talk about um, tips on how to come to New Zealand, tips on how you'd be able to find a job in New Zealand. So this is every Sunday, 6 p.m. New Zealand time, 4 p.m. Am I right? Yeah, 4 p.m. Australia time, Sydney, Australia. 2 p.m. Philippine time, 1 p.m. Jakarta, Indonesia time. I heard it's 11 p.m. US, Arizona time. Welcome, welcome. And today, our focus is basically on the first step. Where do you begin if you would like to teach in New Zealand? So this is going to, hopefully we'll be able to run until 30 minutes only. So let's keep this a habit. Join me every Sunday. Again, that's 6 p.m. New Zealand time, 4 p.m. Australia time, 2 p.m. China and Philippine time, Bali time as well, and 1 p.m. Indonesia time. All right. Happy Mother's Day, by the way, to all the mothers out there. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you for all the love that you could give. Happy Mother's Day. Okay, so let's begin. I really wanted to use my phone today in doing this live so I can actually show you the site that we will be using when we begin with the very first step to be able to teach in New Zealand. So what is the first step? All right, it's called NZQA. So it stands for New Zealand Qualifications Assessment. So why do you have to go through New Zealand Qualifications Assessment? It's because, of course, your degree was finished overseas. So if you have a bachelor's degree, New Zealand will then check if it is comparable to the degree that they have here for teaching. So specifically, I'm only talking about qualifications assessment for teaching, okay? Because I'm a teacher myself and I have gone through the same process to be able to come to New Zealand. So like I said, it's NZQA. I'll just use my phone instead to open the site. Well, the website is actually very user-friendly, but then I have friends who have been complaining that it's quite overwhelming because there's a lot of tabs. So let me show you that now. All right, so it's this one. I hope you can see it. Wait, let me just rotate that. Yeah, that's the bad thing. I should have scheduled the live using my phone because now I couldn't transfer to the phone. So I have to use my phone instead. I don't know if you can see. Yes, this is the one. It's NZQA website. So take note of that, write it down in your notes. So that's nzqa.gov.nz. I'll write it in the chat box to make it easier for you to review this clip or this live video that I am doing. I'll also put that in the live chat. All right, so it's this website. I've sent it over to the chat box. Save it, bookmark it, because that will be really the first site that you need to be visiting from now on. And in that website, you'll be able to see that there are actually several tabs. I just couldn't share screen. I'm still trying to figure out how to go about doing that using the laptop. I should have used my phone, but it was too late. I already scheduled it. So from here, from NZQA website, there's several tabs on the top. So which one should we do? Of course, go for the international. There's a choice for international. It's on the left side, second to the left. So it's this. If you click on that, it will give you this page, right? International. Now from this side, you will be able to see as well. Okay, several choices, but you need to go to this picture of this man. Should be doing it that way then. Should be doing this way then. This man, and then it says, getting overseas qualification recognized by NZQA. NZQA. In New Zealand, they call letter Z a Z. So NZQA, this one. You should click on that, and it will bring you to this page. And this page now will give you all the documents that you will be needing, or all the explanation as to why you need to get an NZQA or a New Zealand Qualifications Assessment. Now you need to find this one. All right, apply for an International Qualification Assessment, or IQA. IQA, International Qualifications Assessment. So let me stop from there first, and again, go back, just a quick review. Why do you need an NZQA? Why is this the very first step? Of course, like I said, overseas qualifications need to be checked by New Zealand, whether it meets the standard that they have here, whether your qualification entitles you to be able to teach in New Zealand. That is why you need an NZQA. This is not a free service though, it's paid. Late last year, they did have a promo to address shortage. They had around 1,200 free assessments. But since you were not able to avail of that, don't worry. It will still be affordable. You will need a credit card to be able to pay for this. So get that credit card going, use it nice by doing this assessment. Give me a moment to respond. Respond to a chat. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so going back, I stopped with IQA because we will go to something very important, which you will be needing. You'll be needing your notebook again to take down notes. All right, so in NZQA, or applying for an IQA, or International Qualifications Assessment, what documents do you need? I would say this is a walk in the park because these documents are already with you. There's probably just one that you do not have yet because it's not a normal thing we get from our schools, but then the rest are already easy peasy lemon squeezy. So let me give you a rundown of the things you will be needing. You can see that in the site too, but I'll put it in the chat box anyway. Okay, so it's this IQA. Yep, all right. Documents you'll be needing. Of course, very important, you'll be needing your passport only the front page, the biodata page, the one with your picture on it. So that's number 1. If you are married, of course, your name has changed from your degree or your, let's say, let me type that first. What documents do you need for an IQA? Okay. Oops, I already sent it. Edit. Hang on. Let me put that in the chat box. Ooh, I can't do that anymore. So let me just, so the first one is the passport. That is required, very important. You need that. You need to take a picture of it. It would be better if you save it as a PDF file. Most files that New Zealand need, they should be saved as PDF file. Because your passport most likely has your married name. If not, then you're lucky. You would not need this. I needed this because I changed my name from my maiden name to my married name. So this is the second one. And then you will also be needing your diploma. This is also another required document that you should prepare. It's just your diploma. And then another one that's very important is your transcript. So the one that has your grades. This is a required document. So how many documents are required from the list that I have given? It's the passport, the biodata page. You have your evidence of name change. If you are married, award certificate or your diploma, and your transcript of records, or the one that contains your grade and the names of the subjects. Now, when I did this way back 2019, I was also asked to submit my detailed syllabus. So this is the one that I said you might not have right away. Okay, it's this one. Now they have changed it though. It says here now, syllabus required if applicable. So if you have it, I think, then you would need it. But it's better that you are over-prepared than under-prepared. Because if you are over-prepared, then they would not need to email you. They would not put your application on the back of the line on the queue because you have everything and they can assess directly. But if you don't have it, that is that's the cons or the negative side of it. They will still keep emailing you and asking for things and so much more and those things, documents. So it's better if you send it, the moment you send it, you have everything already. Now, what happens if your documents are not written in English? You need to have them translated, of course, by accredited translators or licensed translators, and that would cost. So lucky for those who are already having a diploma that's really in English, but for those who are not, you should be very careful with the translations because there's also specifications. So it's really best to read the website. I will now put the link of what I'm talking about. The documents can be found in this link. For those who just came, I am giving actually details using the chat box. So really like a teacher. This is what I do when I do online teaching. Okay, again, we are talking about NZQA or getting qualified to teach or work in New Zealand. And we're focusing on international qualifications assessment for teachers. All right, just a quick review. There are 4 very important documents that you need to prepare. Number 1 is your passport biodata page, the one that has your picture on it. Evidence of name change. If, for example, you are married and you are now using your married name, your award certificate or your diploma, your transcript of records, the one that contains your grades, and your syllabus. Syllabus that is detailed. How does it look like? Because this is not a common document. So what my school did is they simply put a paragraph to describe each subject. So, for example, I took theology because I graduated from a Catholic school back in Cebu, Philippines. So they just detailed there what that subject contained, what were the, let's say, the topics discussed in that subject. So it's quite a thick document. So it took a while to actually be released because they had to detail all 4 years, all the subjects that I took within 4 years. And yeah, it has a paragraph to describe it. So that one is important. I would prefer that you prepare that ahead. And like I say, over preparing is better than under preparing because you wouldn't want your application to go back at the back of the queue just because they needed something more, just because the ministry would ask you for more and email you several times about it and give you another set of deadlines. So it's better to just send it, complete all the documents before sending them or completing or submitting your application. Okay, so I think that's about it. Now let's go to the other part, which is how much? How much does it cost? All right, if you go to the website, it also actually details the fees there. When I had this back in 2019, because I had my qualifications assessed in 2019 before COVID happened, it was only around 300, if I'm not mistaken, 345. And now, 2023, it has already increased to 746 New Zealand dollars. There's several IQA assessments there or IQA fees that are listed. You're supposed to pick the one that says teaching IQA. Why that? Why can I not just pay for the cheaper one that says standard IQA? It's because the teaching IQA will be also useful when you do your teacher assessment, salary assessment. So we do that here in New Zealand. Your salary is not something you negotiate. It's really something that the government mandates. So they have certain steps on certain like levels in the salary, and that one would help them identify where you are at the bracket of the salary. So it's very similar to the one in the Philippines, wherein they would have like teacher one, teacher two, and teacher three, and so on. But in other countries, like I experienced in China and Indonesia, it's not like that. It's more on how good you are with negotiating. They give you a certain amount, but then you can actually bargain for it and then get some more freebies or other benefits or other allowances. But here, no, it doesn't work that way. There's really a certain stage or certain level, your entry level, and they call it your Q1, Q2, Q3, and so on. So at the moment, I am at Q3. If I'm not mistaken, I'm at Q3. And yeah, we'll talk about the salary next time, okay, in another video. So going back, it's now 746 New Zealand dollars. Convert that to peso, that would be around 20,000. Convert that to Indonesian rupiah, that would be around 7 juta. And convert that to what else? US, maybe around 500 or 600 US dollars. Yeah, that much. But then again, will it be worth it? That is the big question. So, if you are really dreaming of being able to teach in New Zealand, I think it is very much worth it. Yes, it is worth it. Okay. Now, what then should you do? Like for me, I had my NZQA in 2019, but my teaching council, which is the next step that we'll be talking about next Sunday, it came 2020. I started it 2020. Why? It's because of all the documents. The teaching council documents are the one that's really, really bloody. Okay. You will need a lot because you need to prove a lot of things there. But for NZQA, one bulk time, that's okay. And save up again for teaching council. So there's really a way. You will find a way, and God will also provide. So go for it. By the way, This qualification, say for example, you have a master's degree, you can also do it at once and only pay that amount. So what happened for me was I have a master's degree, but I did not write my thesis yet. So I only have my comprehensive, they call it a certificate of proficiency. That's what I submitted together with my diploma for my bachelor's. So I had a bachelor's degree diploma submitted. And aside from that, I uploaded my master's of education, but only the certificate of proficiency. So what happened was I got level 7 for my bachelor's, but for my master's, because it's an incomplete, they considered it as an incomplete degree because I did not get the diploma, right? I needed to write the thesis. So they were not able to assess it. What then is very important to take note. If it's not completed, it's better that you don't join it. But if it's completed, a completed degree, then yes, please do. PhD, you can also add it there. Yeah, that package already includes everything you want to include as your degree. Degree in teaching, of course, because it's a teaching qualifications assessment. Okay, next note. How will you be able to proceed to step 2? What is the ideal result of your qualifications assessment? So you should be able to reach level 7. Your qualifications or NZQA result should state that your degree is equivalent to a New Zealand level 7 degree. If you're on a level 6, there is still a way to come, but that would mean you would be dealing on a different pathway. They will ask you to study for a year. But if you're a level 7, which is the normal bachelor's degree from the Philippines, like many of my friends from the Philippines have, then you are eligible to proceed to step 2, which we will be discussing next Sunday, 6 p.m. New Zealand time, 4 p.m. Australia time, 2 p.m. Philippine, China, and Bali time, 1 p.m. 1 p.m. Jakarta, Indonesia time, and 11 p.m. Arizona, USA time. Okay? So again, level 7. Master's degree would most likely bring you to level 8 or level 9. And that is really amazing if you can reach that, because that means to say you're also way higher in the bracket for the salary or the entry salary. But you just need a level 7. That's it. Level 7. All right? Take note. So let me just get a quick review again. We're talking about NZQA or the New Zealand Qualifications Assessment. We are focused on international qualifications assessment for teaching, and it costs 746 New Zealand dollars at the moment. You will only be needing 4 very important documents: passport, biodata page, evidence of name change if you are married, your diploma, award certificate, your transcript of records, and I would include this because I do not want you to keep coming back because I like going back to the queue or like being late again in getting your result because you needed more documents to submit. So it's better to prepare this, a detailed syllabus. You can get this from your colleges or universities by simply telling them what NZQA needs. So in the website that I have already given in the chat box, it will detail there that your syllabus should actually describe your the subjects. Describe the subjects that you took for the 4 years of teaching or 5 years of teaching. And what is the target result that you should get? At least a level 7. When you're able to get at least level 7, then see you next Sunday, 6 p.m. 6 p.m. New Zealand time, 4 p.m. Australia time, 2 p.m. China, Philippines, and Bali time, and 1 p.m. Jakarta, Indonesia time, 11 p.m. US, Arizona time. All right? Any questions, please send it in the chat box. And check the chat box because I have sent there Several important points, like a teacher, using my visual aid. This time it's just a chat box. All right, and that's about it. I think that's about it. If you have no questions, I will see you next week, next Sunday, for another live focused on being able to teach in New Zealand, being able to teach to migrate to New Zealand. New Zealand.